The Straw Hats have progressively gotten stronger over the course of the series. From throwing hands the size of a regular human to throwing hands the size of a planet. The Straw Hats literally went from, oh, the Straw Hats coming? All right, no doubt. To the Straw Hats, all right, wrap it up. Zoro, Sanji, and Luffy all got power-ups in the Wano arc. We're now in the final saga. How strong will the Straw Hats be by the end of the series? At the end of Wano, the Straw Hats finally became a Yonko crew. And I mean, from the beginning, they was them, but now they're those guys. Are we really surprised? The same dude who started out with a tiny-ass boat and his right hand rowing Noah, to now having a crew that is 10 man strong. And women too, because, yeah. The Straw Hats have progressively gotten stronger over the course of the story, but what do the endgame Straw Hats actually look like? Yo, so whenever I look at my YouTube analytics, a lot of people who actually watch my channel are actually from my YouTube recommendations. Y'all not even subscribed. So, if you're new to the channel and you like this kind of content, hit that like button and hit that subscribe button too. Thanks. Now, before we dive in and someone decides to blast me in the comments about what are you even talking about, that's way too far, you're completely wrong, shut the f up. Nah, I'm just playing. And of course, first up, we got Monkey D. Wano hit like lightning, and this man finally got his black card. He's now the liberation god, Nika. I'ma keep it a whole buck with y'all. Luffy ain't getting no more gears. Those potential Gear 6 stocks looking dangerously low right now. The only thing I'ma say is, y'all better cash out right now. Got that Ethereum value. Gear 4th dropped in chapter 784, followed by Gear 5th in chapter 1044. I say follow like it actually happened like a chapter or two later. So let's do some math real quick. We got 52 weeks, ergo 52 chapters. And with that older vacation time, between 40 and 50 chapters a year. We got 784 and 1044. We gonna talk almost 400 chapters apart. We gonna quantify that with Oda's vacation time. We gonna say 7, 8, maybe 9 years. So y'all really gonna wait another 8 to 9 years for another gear? That, there's One Piece. I refuse to die till I see that last chapter. And just as the Batman says, then you have my permission to die. Nah, yeah, that was trash. Jokes aside, any power-up that Luffy gets at this point will have to be Haki related. Luffy has reached a peak in every Haki category. He has advanced observation, advanced conquerors, and advanced armament. As of right now, Luffy still has to fight Blackbeard, the Gorosei, and Emu. But I would say in relation to his gears, Oda will find a more creative route to deal with his opponents. Gear 5th is Tomb Force and has the ability to do whatever the imagination can think of. And Oda's a very creative guy. This man made the devil fruit full of a man who can basically create pockets. It doesn't really get any more creative than that. Luffy's affinity is Conqueror's Haki, so I do see there being a possibility where Oda may add an extra category in regards to Conqueror's Haki, but that's just all speculation. Gear-wise, that man is definitely done. And as much as you could try to guess about One Piece, this is Oda. Good luck with that. We got that Rowan Noah, or Zolo, to the 4Kids OGs. Zoro's most recent power-up was Advanced Conqueror's Haki, which gives him his King of Hell 3-sword style, allowing King to become the latest victim in his quest to change his future epithet from being the world's greatest swordsman to the world's greatest minority slayer. I mean, this one's obvious. Of course, he wants to be at Mihawk's level. He wants to surpass Mihawk, and Mihawk has permanently imbued his Haki into his blade, where this man's sword is black. Of course, that'll be Zoro's next power-up. Also, combatively, Nuzjuro has a black blade, so it would only make sense, because I definitely think Nuzjuro and Zoro are definitely gonna go at it. Either have a clash, or that'll be Zoro's final opponent. In order to compete with Nuzjuro, he gonna need that black blade. I would add Shiryu, but I mean, he looked like he can fight with the sword, but I low-key think he just gonna fight dirty. I'm a little more curious with Sanji, because I really thought that he'd be able to use his invisibility powers or have access to it, but it seems seems like he really just got reinforcement with his skeletal structure. He became stronger and faster, and he now has access to Ifrit Jambe. But I feel like if he was to get an upgrade where he can casually use his invisibility, he won't really be able to use it against an opponent because of Haki, 1, and 2, I feel like the upgrade would add more to the gimmick of his romantic advances. I personally think that Sanji will get a better understanding of his Germa genetics. I mean, he just unlocked them, so that would actually make more sense. I also think a great addition to his moveset would be the Rangyaku, where it's basically the flying kick projectile. I really thought that out of everybody, he would definitely get a move like that. I'm surprised he hasn't done it, but then again, if he did know it, he'd actually use it. Been plenty of opportunities and he's never actually used it. We've been in the time skip for over 500 chapters. At this point in time, there is no point in pulling on that thread any longer. The only possibilities are Sanji gets even hotter flames, but I mean, what's hotter than blue flames? Black? Hey yo, Sasuke, let me holler at you real quick. The other possibility could be for him to gain access to the abilities of his siblings, but I feel like him defeating Queen was symbolic of the fact that he's actually cutting those ties. So I think that would actually regress the character development he went through in Wano, especially because him severing ties with Germa was symbolized by him actually destroying the Reitsu. Him gaining access to his siblings' abilities would be cool. I feel like that would significantly regress his character development. I mean, there was a reason why he destroyed the Reitsu. I don't really see Jinbei getting a power-up. I really think we're just gonna see more of what he can do. Then again, he just joined the crew. Plus, we've never actually seen him go all out. Who's who? Shut the f up. That fight in Wano against that dollar store Rob Lucci, who's who really thought he was that guy. I don't know what kind of hockey Jinbei was using when he fought Uhusu, but Jinbei got that dog in it. From what I've heard, Jinbei may have Conqueror's Haki, but at this point, we're in the end game. I feel like showing he has Conqueror's Haki now would be a little... I don't know what the point would be. If you were going to establish he had Conqueror's Haki, I think it would have made sense to do that a long time ago. But I mean, that's just me. Robin just had her first major fight in Wano, probably since Water 7. Combatively, she's been more of a supportive member of the Strawhats. She is the scholar on the team. But just because she out here reading books, don't think that she cannot run a fade. Black Maria, go count something. Apart from Frankie wanting to build a ship that could actually travel along all the seas and help Luffy become the king of the pirates, there was another reason why he decided to join the Straw Hats. Robin may gain access to her awakening and may even develop some armament. To be honest, if she actually developed armament Haki, she'd be dangerously broken, if she hasn't done so already. Her value lies more in her brains as opposed to her hands. I'ma just run that back if that's cool with y'all. Basically, she reads a lot of books. Usopp has to get Future Sight. I refuse to believe that this man's about to go further into the final saga without developing Future Sight. Yasopp has Future Sight, and I reckon Van Augur probably has Future Sight also. I would at least like for him to develop Haki to the point where he could actually imbue it into his bullets. Elbaf is coming up next, and I feel like this would be his opportunity to actually shine. The Giants gonna have to show him a thing or two. Nami has Zeus permanently, and I don't think she's actually getting another power-up outside of this. I think what will happen now is that we're actually gonna sit here and explore more of what she can actually do with Zeus. From what we know, Zeus can actually use armament Haki and can manipulate the climate attack in a variety of ways. Basically to anything that she pleases. So if we talking straight boxing, Nami gonna stay ready. Frankie is an inventor, and I definitely feel like now that Vegapunk is actually with the Straw Hats, it would be a missed opportunity if he didn't actually take any pointers for how to develop his arsenal. Frankie is a man of honor, and that fade that he ran with Senor Pink was a battle amongst men. But he hasn't really had a power-up since the time skip. I reckon his fights will definitely continue to be more strategic and explore more of what he can actually do with his weapon. Brook and Chopper are more supportive characters in the crew, and I think if they were to actually have 1v1s, it'll definitely focus on more of what they could do strategically as opposed to the strength of their actual abilities. Strength will count, but it won't be as big a factor. Chopper hasn't really had any direct ops since Fishman Island, which counts but kinda doesn't. But really, since Water 7, combatively, he's definitely taken more of a back seat. I mean, he fought Queen, but realistically speaking, he wasn't really doing... That was more chip damage. I think the fight with the Blackbeard crew would actually set out classic 1v1s with each of the Straw Hats. So at that point, I feel like their combative nature would definitely be written back into that situation. But I think outside of that, they'll continue to be supportive characters. Combatively, when you look at Wano, they were definitely lacking in power. If we look at Ulti and Page 1 versus Usopp and Nami, they was not taking them out. They literally needed divine intervention from Big Mom. Sanji weren't having no issues dealing with Page 1. He just made the claim that he was a little tougher than he thought. But if we're talking 1v1, Nami and Usopp will not win in that fight. I definitely think their fights or power-up moments will definitely look more strategic than others. The main fighters of the crew are definitely getting one more power-up before the series actually ends. In regards to everybody else that spans outside of that, I wouldn't say a direct power-up, but more a creative moment to deal with that opponent. Let me know your thoughts below. Do you think I'm wrong? Do you think there might be a Gear 6? Do you think any of the other Straw Hats are actually going to get power-ups? But yeah, let me know your thoughts below. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll holler at y'all later, man. Peace.